you want to clap? I got the clap from Eric.
And it felt good.
Welcome back, everybody, to This Is My Bourbon Podcast, but it's a big old bonus episode. I'm Perry. I'm the host over at This Is My Bourbon Podcast, and this guy's Eric, the Whiskey Mutant.
It's me.
Hey, good to see you.
Good to see you. I just saw you.
Like we didn't just get done recording a podcast episode. If you're watching this video or listening to this bonus episode and you're not subscribed to the podcast, you can do so just here. Just click the button. It's right down there. Look, it says subscribe. It's pretty easy. But we got podcast episodes that come out every week. If you like what we're doing, we're typically doing reviews every week at this point. Mm-hmm. I don't know how we kind of got in that groove. I was thinking about that on the way over here today.
Just grooving.
Grooving and
it's that season.
Smoothing.
It's that season, the release season.
Yes.
Everybody's got new stuff out.
They got so much stuff out right now. Coming up soon, too. I mean, we've got some of the bigger releases that come out every year that we're going to be doing reviews on. So if you want to check those out, do be sure to hit the subscribe button. And if you're on YouTube, hit the bell notification so you know when we upload new videos or when we go live on the YouTube channel.
And on MySpace.
I need to do a MySpace for the podcast.
ICQ. Yahoo Messenger.
Oh, there we go.
Check us out there.
ASL.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, today we are taking a look at and reviewing the newest age-stated bourbon from our friends at Wilderness Trail. They were kind enough to give us a little sample bottle. Of their, well, it's a 375.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, nice.
I do have a notoriously big head, though, so it's for size, you know. But this is their 8-year wheated bottled and bond bourbon. So
I've been waiting on this, baby.
100 proof. And I'm ready to get into this. Eric went to the distillery to pick up his bottle and also grabbed the sample bottle. So thank you to Haley and the team over there for allowing us to check this out. I'm so excited for this. If you are familiar with the show, you know that around this time last year, we reviewed their 8-year high rye bourbon.
Yes.
And it was the very first product ever in the history of This Is My Bourbon Podcast to receive a perfect score. 20 out of 20. So we'll talk about the review system in just a bit. But in the meantime, I mean, they're not really a craft distillery anymore. If you are into bourbon and you don't know about Wilderness Trail, go check them out.
Get some help.
What are you doing? Yeah. Been fans of them basically since day one. And they have been very kind to us, very, very generous to us as well. So let's check this out.
That's a sweet, sweet fantasy, baby.
One of the things that I have said about Wilderness Trail, basically from the beginning, is I love this, but I can't wait to see what this is when it gets older.
But then you're like, it doesn't even have to get older.
And that was a conversation that I had with Haley on multiple occasions, too. Yeah. She's been on the podcast a few times before. And, you know, she knows how much I love this bourbon. And she made sure that we had a sample of this as well to review. This is an incredible nose.
It smells like strawberry jelly.
But it
say it.
There's like baking spices to it as well. It's like a bakery, like almost Disney World confectionery.
It smells like a grandma's kitchen, but you're eating a piece of strawberry jelly toast while you wait on like the main pie or the main dinner to get done. It smells like just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just it's very dark too. It's like a dark strawberry, if that makes sense. It's not a big, bright, like light red to me in my head.
Yeah.
It's like this dark, like thick strawberry jelly.
Yeah.
Or jam.
It is a very complex nose. All right.
Cheers.
Cheers. We dink it and we sink it. Pleasure noises.
I mean, it's hard to even like say anything right now. Not only I've just been excited to have this, but like it just lived up to the nose too.
It did.
I'll
tell you one thing that I'm getting more on the palate that I wasn't getting on the nose is more corn.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a wheated bourbon, so you're going to be getting, more of the sweeter aspects of this. But it's not just like a straight up like corn pudding or whatever. It's more of like cornbread.
Yeah. Well,
it really transforms once you get to the palate.
You know what I am picturing in my head right now is a strawberry Pop-Tart. But the edges of the Pop-Tart are a little burnt. So it opens up more on that bakery to me. It's like a burnt edge Pop-Tart or a burnt pie crust.
Yeah.
But you've got kind of that icing. It's kind of like a strawberry. And then you've got that dark strawberry. So it's like it's layered. It's more layered on the palate. It's a Pop-Tart with some burnt edges.
I'm a fan, dude.
I'm a big fan.
I'm a really big fan of this.
Do you know what I want to do right now? I want to compare it to something.
Oh, boy. Are you going to compare it to what I think you're going to compare it to? Oh, that's not what I thought it was going to be. But it's a better comparison than like the 8-year high rye bourbon.
Oh, no, I was not going to compare those two because they're two different animals. But I just so happen to have behind me, which is always sitting there. I did not put it there. It's always there. Another 8-year wheated bourbon. That is 108 proof that I enjoy. And I think people would really want to see how it's stacked up against it.
That makes sense. It's not my favorite pour.
This is a Willet 8-year wheated bourbon.
It's an expensive bottle.
It is.
It is expensive.
Do I wish this bottle was about $150 cheaper? Yes.
Yeah. Such is life.
This is life. But I think this is a good comparison. I know it's a bonus. We're reviewing it, but let's put it to the test.
Why not?
Go, because I think I know where this is going to go. Honestly,
where are you starting?
I'm going to start with. I'm going to start by cleansing my palate for a second.
It's a good call.
Now I'm going to go with the Willet.
Stay hydrated.
I'm going to go with the Willet. Nose is good.
Nose is really good. Yeah. It really leans into the bacon spice side of things.
To me, if I'm smelling the Wilderness Trail, it's that dark strawberry. If I'm smelling,
there's that. Sorry.
If I'm smelling the Willet, it's more of like a snickerdoodly thing.
I'm going back for the second sniff. I was smelling more of the now kind of stereotypical Willet nose with the like peanut butteriness to it that
it is peanutty.
They're known for. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
See, it's good. I think if you like Willet, it's good. But I still have the strawberry Pop-Tart in my head, and it's hard to compare.
It's not nearly as complex as the Wilderness Trail is.
Mm-mm. It's really
two completely different animals.
Two completely different ones, but same age, about the same proof. Going back to the Wilderness Trail.
Eric's also drowning himself while he's...
I am. Man, it's just so bright. Like, I'm going back and forth on this because I feel like it's a dark strawberry. But then when I take a sip of it after that, I'm like, this is like a bright, like it's like starbursting in my mouth.
Yeah. It's really good.
It's a Pop-Tart. Oh my gosh, it's a Pop-Tart. It's a strawberry Pop-Tart.
I agree with you.
I cannot wait to pair this.
I can't wait to see what you pair with this.
Strawberry Pop-Tart.
I was going to say, I figured.
No, I might have to switch it up. Everybody's going to be thinking it was. So yeah.
That's really,
I think if you
freaking good.
want to save some money and you have these two in front of you, I would pick the Wilderness Trail.
I have to agree.
Yes.
I think too, we have the benefit of knowing kind of the general hype around Willet and how much some of their stuff gets blown out of proportion.
Yeah.
And yeah, their price definitely kind of reflects that in making it feel more like a premium brand. And I mean, it's the market that really determines a lot of that. But as far as like a
I just went back to the Wilderness Trail again.
It's so good.
It got better with every sip.
Yeah. What I'm getting at is that I think that Wilderness Trail deserves to be treated as a premium brand in the way that people think Willet is.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. It's
do with that what you will.
It's their time, baby.
It should be their
time. It's the time of Wilderness Trail. It's been their time.
And it's time for us to review this in the way that we do on the podcast by going through 5 different categories: nose, palate, finish, and price. Each category is out of 5. Final score is out of 20. Like I said, the 8-year high rye Wilderness Trail bourbon got the first perfect score that we've ever given on the show. Do you think that this is going to also receive a perfect score?
Almost.
It's going to be really close.
Yeah, it's going to be almost perfect.
Yeah. What do you think on the nose here?
The nose, I think... I'm trying to think here. I think the nose is a almost perfect nose. It's 4.5 for
I was going to give it a 4.5 as well.
I think there's on that here. Get that out of the way. I think that if to me on the nose, I love that dark strawberry. If I had a little bit more depth on the nose like I did on the palate, I think I would give it a 5.
Yeah.
I think if I would have one more thing that I'm like, oh, there it is, I would have given it a 5, but 4.5.
Yeah. I do think that it's got just a little bit further that it could go to be like,
yeah,
as in your face as a perfect nose could have been. But yeah, 4.5 for sure. Palate for me is another 4.5.
I was going to say 4.5. I know you don't hear burnt Pop-Tart all the time. Not burnt Pop-Tart, but burnt edges on a Pop-Tart. But that's
slightly browned edges.
That's just so unique. It's so good. And the reason it's a 4.5 is because I gave the finish a 5.
Finish is incredible. It's where it starts to explode.
Mm-hmm.
And really that's where I think a lot of our sensory experience has really taken off.
Yeah.
And it just makes me want to go back for another sip.
Exactly. That Pop-Tart pops even more on the finish.
Yeah.
And it does. And it lasts just long enough to be like, all right, it's time for another sip.
Yeah.
Let's go. And if you've been listening, like lately, it's all about the finish for me. It's like, I want that big finish.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a 5. 5 on the finish. I love it. I love it.
What was the price on this?
$88.
It's not terrible. Wasn't the...
It's the same.
Was the high ride the same price? Okay. I mean, honestly, especially when you compare it to the Willet, that's a steal for an age-stated bottled and bond wheated bourbon. I mean, it stands to reason that should be a 5 as well.
5 for me. Yeah. Right now, like a wheated bourbon that's 8 years old, like you can't even like, and I'm just going to throw this out there. Like if I wanted to go, we can't even get Weller 107. And it's not even age stated. We know it's what, 6 years old, 6 to 7 years old or something like that.
I think it's more like 7.
So
yeah,
we would have to go to somebody else who would probably charge us $150 to $200 for one.
Yeah.
So it's still cheaper. Like I said, you could find the Willet 8-year, and it's going to be $200 to $250. And this is great nose, great palate, phenomenal finish, and you're paying under $100. You're walking out, even after tax,
like $95.
Yeah, sub $100 for 8-year non-sourced weeded bourbon. I mean, that's in this market right now, that's a steal. This was the first bottle I have actually bought that's been over like $30 in a long time because I've been so like, I'm tired of paying over these prices. Blah, blah, blah. So yeah, it's a 5. It's definitely, there's no doubt I can't say this is a 5. This is worth every bit of $88.
Yeah, I completely agree. So I think that brings us both to a 19 out of 20.
19 out of 20.
Yeah.
They're doing something good over there.
They're doing great things. For anybody who doesn't know as well, they just got bought up by Campari. So they've got some trust and
and I hope
some
that
money
means
behind
that
them
more
well.
people get to experience it. That's the main thing. I don't, everybody worries about like this person bought this person. I still think that it's going to be the same Wilderness Trail, but I feel like maybe more people are going to get to experience it.
Yeah,
so
for
that's
sure.
It.
Thank you, Wilderness Trail.
Thank you.
And thank you all for watching or listening.
Drink some more.
Yeah, I think that sounds good. But if you want some more of us, you can head over to patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast for as little as $1 a month to support the show. But at $5 a month, that's where you get a bunch of bonus content, early access to episodes, some exclusive content that nobody else gets, like the pregame chats. Those come out before every single episode. Just kind of us getting warmed up for stuff.
Gotta get warmed up. And get the pregame going on.
Just so many different bonus things.
It's crazy over there, I'll be honest.
It is very true.
There's a spreadsheet. There's a whole whiteboard of what are we going to do on the Patreon.
We've got, you might not know this, but everything that we've done in this 15-minute video bonus episode, it's been scripted.
Yeah.
Even this.
AI wrote it.
They did.
Support the writers, though.
You can also follow us on social media at My Bourbon Pod, at Whiskey Mutant, to keep up with all the things that we are doing in bourbon and other things as well. And come back here every Wednesday for new episodes and randomly for bonus stuff like this.
Bonus.
Until next time, I'm Perry.
I'm Eric.
And this is My Bourbon Podcast.
Cut it out.
Why can't I do this? I can't do any more content today.